Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm your host, Jeff Howard, and I have Sof Puchley with me. Hey, you.
Hello.
All right, so I just said Sof's name, so I'm going to start by introducing you as the producer and lead actor of Id Est, which was at Film Invasion Los Angeles in 2024, as well as many other excellent festivals. You had an excellent festival run. But at the festival, one of the festivals I run, you took home the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Sci-Fi, and your director won the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Director. And I didn't say this in the interview podcast. This one will be a 4 questions podcast. But you know, that Filmmakers Award, the jury is alumni from the festival, filmmakers. So it's funny, even though people have sometimes expressed to me that they care more about the Grand Jury Award, I'm like, dude, the Filmmakers Award is from your peers.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's cool. Yeah, I'm like, why do you care about the Grand Jury Award? That's decided by the selection committee. We're like a bunch of old fogies who have been watching stuff for too long. Mm-hmm. Like, your peers should mean more, I think. We all. Anyway, so that's my introduction of you and your film. And for anyone interested, check the show notes for Sof's website and social media and stuff. And you should absolutely follow her and keep your eyes open for her work, especially Id Est that I just mentioned. But if you want to learn about all that, listen to the podcast before this. That is a nice, chunky interview where we learn all about Sof and her work. And it's a good story, too, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, singing at age 2 and then filmmaking a few decades later, probably 2 decades later. Awesome. And so listen to the podcast. That's the one before this, because this one, what you're going to find out is you're going to learn Sof's taste in film, because she's going to answer the 4 questions, which are: name 3 favorite films, name an underrated film, name an overrated film, and finally name a lesser-known film that people should seek out. I'm rubbing my hands together because honestly, it's fun to talk about movies. Mm-hmm. And I know you have good taste, probably. So you want to just name 3 of your favorites?
Sure. I was thinking about this, and it's so hard to name favorite films. It really is. So I'm just going to name my current favorite films. One that has always been my favorite is Anna Karenina. I adore that film. My second favorite film is Alien Covenant. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, and I just thought that film was excellent and really has just stuck with me. And my third favorite film is a recent film, but I just can't get it out of my head, which is The Substance. I thought it was wonderful.
I keep hearing, yeah, I know, I haven't seen it.
So good.
Is it still in theaters?
I don't think it's in theaters anymore.
I blew it. I blew my chance.
It was fantastic.
It sounds really insightful, too.
Yes, it is. I just thought, I haven't seen anything like that. I thought it was so wonderful. And
Alien Covenant, that was the one, wasn't that recent, was it? But it's the one where they find the proto, which one is Alien Covenant?
It's the one where the captain dies, and then the lead takes over as the captain, and then they land on they find a planet because they're traveling to colonize another planet, but they find a planet in the middle where they can like refuel and reload, and they just go to check it out, and that's where all the aliens are. And it's just amazing action and really scary, and I just love the way that it's done.
Yeah, I admit I have I argue with people who just like the first 2.
Yeah.
Because I really think the Alien series, honestly, I even really love the Fincher one, the third one. I think it was third.
The Prometheus?
No, I mean the one where there was like a dog. The alien went inside a dog at one point and came out as a dog-shaped alien. I thought, that is so smart, because of course it's mixing with the DNA.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a fun one.
That is a good one. It's the one where they shave Sigourney's head, I believe.
The dog one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm getting it wrong. All right, I should be quiet. I got to rewatch them all. and then I can be an Alien expert because I'm clearly just a casual fan, I guess. Shame on me. All right, so question number 2.
Sure.
Well, actually, Anna Karenina, I'm forgetting the director.
I actually don't know off the top of my head, but Keira Knightley is in it, and Jude Law, and it's the most amazing production design I've ever seen, and costuming, and a tragic love story. I love it. It's just perfect.
And we talked, when we were talking about your work, we talked about world building. And yeah, a period piece can absolutely be world building.
Oh, it was insane. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah, yeah. And I learned that you did your own costuming.
Costuming is so important to me. So important.
No, it really is. It really is. All right. Well, now question number 2. Well, yeah, we covered all 3 of your favorites. Excellent. So question number 2 is a film you consider underrated.
A film that I consider underrated is All of Us Strangers.
I don't even know
It was with Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal, and it was one of the best films I've ever seen, and it got no love. Got absolutely no love. I was in the theater bawling my eyes out, and I thought it was just beautiful and brilliant, and I don't know why it didn't get any love.
I didn't see it. I don't even.
You must.
I'm not even my memory. I'm not even like remembering it.
It came out last year.
Oh.
So I don't know why it wasn't nominated, because it was just like one of the best films ever.
And I mean, actually, one of the jokes on the festival jury is that if it makes Jeff cry, he's going to fight to get it in the festival. I love crying. The fact that you said this film made you cry.
Yes.
Now I got to see it.
You have to. It's amazing.
Excellent. Well, I can't give any more review. I'm curious about this one. I almost am tempted to give you a disclaimer about the word overrated, but I'll just see what you do with it. Like, is there a film that you want to say you think might be overrated?
I don't want to be mean and point out a specific film, but I would like to say that I think some of the Marvel films are amazing, and some of the superhero Marvel films I find extremely overrated. But I won't say which ones, because if someone asked me to direct one, I wouldn't say no. So
I understand. For that would be well deserved too, because yeah, some of the Marvel is out.
Some are very good, but some are not.
Yeah, and well, whatever. You know, I'm the father of a female, and I mean, when we went to Captain Marvel, I just cried. Like, I just kept. I know that film kept making me
and
cry.
And that was one of the very good ones.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And I love it, by the way, because I think she was like 14 or whatever, but she's like, "Why do you love this so much?" And I'm like, I love that she doesn't realize how rare it is to have a female superhero. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, in her world, it's
or like a main female superhero.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been like, all the
second fiddle.
Yeah, or like best. Supporting. Yeah.
Like the way they used Wonder Woman in the film with Batman and Superman.
But she got her own one.
She did?
Which was very good. But that was DC, I believe.
Yeah, that is DC. Mm. And not as good as Marvel, if you ask me. But, that's just a hot take. Mm-hmm. I was going to say that the overrated question doesn't mean it's bad. It just means, maybe that film got Oscars and shit it's not even that particular filmmaker's best work. Sometimes I go there. All right. Mm-hmm. So even though you've already named some films I need to hurry up and see, the last question is a lesser known film that people should seek out. So
I think maybe this film was really popular in its time, but one of my favorite films in the entire world is White Christmas. And it was in 1940s, I believe. It's a 1940s film. It's one of the first films to be made in color. Rosemary Clooney is one of the stars, and it's the most perfect American wholesome musical film. And I watch it every year. And I just think it's so well done and so optimistic and so American. And I don't feel like we have a lot of those feel good films anymore.
Yeah, there's just a few.
Yeah.
And is that, I'm just going to express my ignorance now. Is that what the song was written for? Or did the song predate it?
I think Irving Berlin wrote White Christmas and then this movie was made. So White Christmas is the final number in the movie. And then I think some of his other music is in it as well, but I'm not quite sure.
I admit, I will come out of the I'm not a big Christmas fan, and I'm not a big Christmas movie fan, but I'm a huge Irving Berlin fan.
It's not even really a Christmas film.
Yeah.
It's basically just at the end of World War II, and these two performers who were in the war, one's really famous, one's not. They end up creating like a duo act. They go to Broadway. They become really successful. Then they meet these two women performers who are sisters. And the sisters are going to Vermont to sing for the Christmas time. And they end up running into their old general, and they find out that his business isn't doing well. So then they like gather everyone up. It's just a feel good film. They gather them to try to save his business. And it's just a story of like generosity and love. And it just happens to be set in Christmas time, but it's not really like, there's no talk of Santa. There's no
there's no Santa in it.
No, there's no Santa. There's no like someone like finding the miracle of Christmas. It's just about like people being very decent.
Right. And it's not
generous.
it sounds like it's not about a child. It's about adults.
It's about adults
helping each other.
Adults helping each other. Yeah. Post World War II. And the fashion, the costuming, it's so special. It's a very special film.
I am intrigued. I'm intrigued to watch a Christmas movie, which is a big freaking deal. Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right. Well, I think that takes care of it. You went through your list very efficiently. And because I'd seen so few of them, I couldn't give the same amount of feedback. In fact, the only one I've seen on your whole list is Alien Covenant.
Oh my gosh!
And I admit, I don't know how many Alien movies there have been so far now, but for
that
me,
one's
it's
the best.
It's kind of a blur for my memory banks, which makes me okay. Now I got to watch Covenant.
I loved it. Loved it.
I bet the kid would like Covenant. All right, I'm gonna. Mm-hmm. She tends to demand we watch a horror movie every Friday night. But
well, this one's horror. This one's horror
vibe,
adjacent for sure.
I know. I keep telling her we got to watch the first Alien movie. I'm telling you, it's got the best jump scares ever. She just thinks it's like for old people.
Yeah, I kind of get that because obviously with her being so young, she probably it's not as impressive the practical effects. It's like it's harder to. Because the level is so high now, right? So, like, when you see an older movie, it's like, that's not scary. That looks fake.
To her credit, she really appreciated The Exorcist when I forced that one.
That one is scary.
It is scary. And even though the effects aren't cutting edge, they kind of hold up because you get into the story.
Have you noticed that they've never tried to exorcise a man? It's always a woman.
Well, I'm going to steal that from you. And I am humbled by the fact that I never noticed. That's so funny because, geez, as a parent, I had to make her watch The Exorcist because she kept saying, let's watch Insidious. We kept watching demonic possession films. And she was raised with no religion, so first I had to explain the devil and other things and what demons are and what demonic possession is and what that. And then I looked at her one day, like after one of these talks, and I was like, "Why am I not showing you The Exorcist? Like that's the genesis of this whole genre." And she actually really appreciated it, even though it's totally slow in the beginning and got archaeology and like fascinating stuff. But in spite of this deep dive into possession, it's always a woman.
Yep. It's very interesting.
And it's always a man solving the problem.
Well, because
probably.
it's like a
priest.
Catholic belief, right?
Are you saying the Catholic Church is sexist?
I mean, come on. Very much so.
Yeah. Well, all religious organizations tend to have. They probably just had to get tight with the patriarchy to survive, but yeah, super patriarchal. Mm-hmm. Does that mean like one of these days you're going to produce a demonic possession film where?
I'm personally not interested in those stories, but I am interested in how religious oppression can affect people who leave the church. So I have a kind of a idea that I've been thinking about that I think is interesting to do with that. But yeah, nothing, I don't know.
It's not your genre, so why?
I like horror, but I don't, that's personally, I'm like, I don't know. There's other people who can do it better, so leave it to them.
Yeah. Even a film we loved called that Autopsy of Jane Doe film, which she and I loved. It's a female corpse and two men. Holy moly. I'm going to have to point this out to some other people.
I think it's important for us to look at, like, people loved Anora, right? Objectively an amazing film. But it's like, who's telling this story, right? I think it's just interesting. Like, who's telling our stories, and why are so many women-driven stories being told by men? And fair enough if it was 50-50 and there were 50% of women directors, but it's 4%. So, like, statistically, women aren't given the chance to tell our own stories. And I think as an artist, you're allowed to tell whatever you want, but also looking at the bigger picture of, well, maybe I should let other people tell their stories too.
Yeah, and the point of view, that is something.
Yeah, POV is important.
Yeah, and I won't go into it too much because I can just go into it with you after we stop recording. Mm-hmm. But because whatever, it's a delicate situation in a way because in theory, I guess I'm judging films as a member of a selection jury. But you can tell when the point of view is fresh. And like I warned some of the white male dudes who like bitch about, oh, I can't get my stuff out there anymore. I'm like,
oh yeah, you can. You're statistically more likely than anyone to get your stuff out.
We had a jury member, a great guy, say to me, wow, we have so many women's films this year. It's so great. And I said, yeah, it's a third. Like a third of our films were female directors. And that stuck out to him like a sore thumb. And I'm like, we're still only like at a third. Right. Like we're trying to get to parity. But like even with an eye on it, men get more. And
it's not a lack of women who are trying. Like I can tell you that much. It's lack of opportunity, and people like to hire who they know. And I understand that. So again, I'm just going to stay in my lane and do my thing and hope to make a difference in the gender gap for sure.
I'll share this because I think it'll be inspiring, which is, so we had in the same festival that your film was in, I don't know if you got to go to other screenings, but we showed the film Good Girls Get Fed.
They were in my blog.
They were in your blog.
Yes.
Right, that was the anchor of your blog.
I actually became friends with Kelly because of that.
Kelly's amazing.
She's so amazing.
And so someone said to me after that screening, praising the film, and she loved this. And this was actually an older established TV actor. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. All right. Wow. I might want to delete that. But anyway, I never delete anything. Said that he thought it would be directed by, based on watching it, he said, I was thinking a man directed that. And then it turned out Kelly directed it. And I told Kelly, you actually fooled somebody. And she was so delighted because she's like, I love being able to fool people with that because she definitely uses the camera. She imitates the male gaze.
Oh, yeah.
To suit her story. I mean, the film is very much about the male gaze. And the fact that she nailed the male gaze so well and fooled a lot of people in assuming, well, only a man would direct. It actually really, that is a fascinating film because we had many jury members like be on the fence until they found out a woman directed. And I'm like, well.
I loved it.
Isn't it great?
I loved it. I loved it so much.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but I think your block was probably, like, that was a great block.
Yeah, and I loved it also, too, with your festival that it wasn't like 5,000 films. It was 4 strong films. Like, sometimes it's hard to watch 2 hours of a block. Like, an hour is a perfect amount. And it felt really personal and special, and yeah, it was a great experience.
Well, the reason yours was an hour is because Good Girls Get Fed is so long. We normally aim for like 45 minutes. In fact, when we do a 2-hour, we have a 2-hour block of time at the theater, and the goal is 45 minutes of films, 1 hour of talking about them, do long Q&As, and then you got 15 minutes to kick everyone out and bring in the next audience. Like, that's how we want to do it, which I know is unusual. In fact, 8, 9 block 2 hours of shorts.
It's too much.
Even if the quality's great. Yeah. But also the quality's rarely great, right? Like you're watching 9, 10 films in a row and
I mean,
good, bad, amazing.
Depending on the festival.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're all really good, but it's just too long. And so then I feel bad for the films that are towards the end of the block because people are like tired. If they did an intermission, sure. But it's hard. It's hard.
No, it's not the way to watch stuff. It's just not the way to watch. And then, plus, if you're going to do a Q&A, you're doing a Q&A, 9 Q&A. No, that's when they bring up the firing squad, right? They just line everyone up. Or they have, whatever. Yeah, thank you for saying something nice about it. I should have just said thank you instead of going on a long thing about. But yeah, excellent block. Excellent film. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, I should wrap it up. Sof Puchley, thank you for coming in. I didn't even mention, like, it's very cool. You came in person.
I try to do as most in-person things as I can.
Yeah.
Everything, there's too much screen. Let's like reconnect with people, you know?
Yeah. I appreciate you being here.
Plus, I also live in the Valley, so.
There you go.
Sorry, I don't know if I should mention the location.
I don't think that's a problem. It's a big valley. Well, I mean, I think I am open about the fact that I'm in Sherman Oaks. I amusingly, I got pretty far from home at times in my life, and then I actually live like 12 minutes from the house I grew up in.
Oh, wow. It's a great area.
Kind of funny. But, all right, so thank you for being here. And now I'm going to thank everyone for listening. If you want to support this podcast, well, please like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about the podcast or the TV series that was born from it, go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. By the way, that's always clickable in the show notes, as well as Sof's social media and website. So go to the show notes for all that. We just talked about, what a good block Sof's film was in at Film Invasion Los Angeles. You can learn about that festival that we hold every June. In fact, this year, June 2025, is the 10th.
Wow.
The 10th Film Invasion in Los Angeles. I don't know what to do to make it special. I'm trying to figure it out. The bummer is the one person floated the idea of like having like one short from each year. But you really just want to show all the new stuff. That's tricky.
That is tricky.
Because the theater costs a lot of money. You can't just show 9 extra shorts. I don't know. So anyway.
Maybe 10% discount to everyone who submits.
Maybe, or maybe just be, I don't know. Maybe
$10 more. Just kidding.
Yeah, I asked for $10 donations, one for every year we've been alive. I don't know. Or we'll just call it the 10th anniversary. Well, it'll just be a 10th on the step and repeat.
Love it.
All right. Anyway, talk about a tangent. All right, so did I say the website? And so I think I said filminvasionla.com. at Film Invasion LA on social media. Its sister festival that we hold every December is the Sherman Oaks Film Festival. I just came out as a Sherman Oaksian, if that's a word. You can learn more about that one at ShermanOaksFF.com, and it's at ShermanOaksFF on social media. Both are in the top 100 best reviewed list on Film Freeway out of 12,000 in the world. Just saying. If you want to if you like good films, you should check those two festivals out. And the last thing is just go to indiechannel.tv if you like the work of artists who make work for the right reasons, not making a film because you own a piece of IP that you want to squeeze a couple more dollars out of, but because they have an original idea that's so good, they're not going to sleep well at night until they start making it. Because that's kind of how it works, right? Like, I just have to make something because it deserves to be made.
True that.
True that. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.